Trajan and Moctezuma are the two new legendary commanders available in Rise of Kingdoms on our commanded list. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my thoughts and review about these two new commanders because you want to know if it's worth it to invest in these commanders, you want to know if it's worth it to spend your sculptures in this commander, your speed ups because one of them is available in the Mightiest Governor. So let's go ahead and let's explore this together. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Rise of Kingdom video. My name is Legend Ronnie and today we have Trajan and Moctezuma that just appeared on our commander list on my left side. I do have to say that I was not expecting these two commanders to be available in the Wheel of Fortune. If I click on the summon over here on the plus, my apologies, Trajan is available on the Wheel of Fortune and Moctezuma is available from the Mightiest Governor. We are all expecting cavalry commanders because this was the order of how commanders were being introduced in Rise of Kingdoms. It was always cavalry, infantry, archers. And now we have two new leadership commanders. Definitely after this two new leadership, I hope that we will receive two new cavalry commanders. Before you want to go ahead and draw your conclusion because I know what you're thinking. Peacekeeping commander in Mightiest Governor. Yeah, I kind of agree with what you're thinking as well. I'm not very happy either. And this is the type of commander that I would probably put in expedition if I would have to choose. They should have just allowed it to be available from the expedition. But having him in the Mightiest Governor, you're probably thinking that that is very wrong. I've done a video in about 1 month from now. There's going to be an update in Rise of Kingdoms that will allow you to choose which commander you want to get from your Mightiest Governor and which commander you want to get from your Wheel of Fortune. And that will gonna change a lot of things in Rise of Kingdoms. You want to make sure that you check that video as well. I'm gonna post a card on the top because that topic is a very hot topic. You will be able to choose before the Mightiest Governor starts or before the Wheel of Fortune starts which commander you want to receive. So even if all the players in the kingdom are training or fighting or killing troops or whatever, you need to do for the Mightiest Governor, there's one Mightiest Governor, but everyone can choose what reward they will get from it. And that's a really nice option that will be available soon in Rise of Kingdoms. Going on to his primary skill, one thing I have noticed very unique about him is the counterattack damage reduced, and that's on the target. You deal 1400 damage factor, and for 4 seconds, you're reducing the counterattack damage on the target by 50%. There is no other commander in Rise of Kingdoms that does that. Going on to his second skill, the difference over here on the second skill would have been a huge one if the last part, the enemy health reduction, would have worked on players as well, but it doesn't. So this is purely barbarian oriented. You get 50% plus damage to barbarians, and then you get 25% experience, primary and secondary, and after that with a 10% chance you can reduce the target's health, and only barbarians target's health, let me specify correctly, by 50% for 3 seconds, and it can trigger once every 3 seconds with a 10% chance. If this would have worked, like I was mentioning earlier, on player structure or anything else, this commander would have had a huge role and a very good debuffing role in Rise of Kingdoms, because you would debuff the target to deal less counterattack damage, and then you would have debuffed the target with 50% health reduction, which there is no other commander in Rise of Kingdoms that does such a huge amount of health reduction. And this is also a passive skill, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what passive skill does. I've done a video about that. Breaking news, I'll probably post a card on the top. Passive skills stack. Unfortunately, it only works on barbarians, so that's really sad. Going on to his third skill, you get 10% march speed, 20% attack, and when performing normal attacks against target inflicted with reduced health debuff, troops led by this commander, you can get up to 700 healing factor, and the effect can only trigger once every 5 seconds. Now, obviously, you are doing health reduction, but only on barbarians. If you want to use this commander for field battles, there's plenty of options to make sure a target has health debuff reduction. You have the dagger, there's Chandragupta, there is Ethelflaed, and probably various other commander that doesn't cross my mind right now. All these commanders reduce the health on the target, and it will trigger the healing factor from the Jaguar warrior, Moctezuma. Going on to his fourth skill, it seems to be rally oriented, 10% rally army capacity bonus. That's pretty nice. And when he gets skill damage, or your march gets skill damage, because as a leadership I would put him as a second in command, you deal 600 direct damage factor back, and the effect can trigger once every 5 seconds. His expertise is tied up with his fourth skill, which reduces the effect that can trigger only for every 4 seconds, and you can also do up to 800 damage factor. It's a very nice commander in general, like an okay commander, right? But he has no defense. And this is what is the downfall of him. He does have this 700 healing factor, but this is not a defense option. He only has attack and damage and debuff. So from that point of view, he's quite a decent commander. The problem is that his second skill is peacekeeping, and I don't see him being useful on the field battles. I personally wouldn't invest in a peacekeeping commander that is available in the Mightiest Governor. Even if I can choose to work on him, I would probably never choose to work on him. Just get 10 sculptures to unlock him, and probably that's gonna be it. Because let's face it, if you look on the legendary tier list, if I go further up, there's so much better commanders that you can work on, that you can probably use for rallies. I don't see him having a role on the field battle. I believe that he was purely designed just to take down forts, because everyone was complaining about the forts in Heroic Anthem, and probably the future forts that will come in Rise of Kingdoms or future events like KVK events might be very strong, and you're probably going to need a commander like Moctezuma. You never know. But I do have to say that Minamoto and Double C are doing an excellent job of taking down forts. Both have 50% damage to barbarians. Is the third skill on Minamoto. Then you have 1400 and a 75% chance to deal another 600 over 2 seconds, right? And that's another 1200. Then you have Double C with 1400 raise restoration, lot of cav attack, cav tree. So there's really nothing wrong with Minamoto and Double C on taking down forts. Probably the best. But Minamoto is a VIP commander, so there is not a whole lot of players that are able to upgrade Minamoto, right? So if you really want to focus on force, then you can have Double C and Moctezuma. So you don't really have to spend money, right? Because Minamoto, being a VIP, you need to buy the chest to get him. And this guy, you don't have to spend money to get him. This is the type of commander that get 10 sculptures of him, you get your Restore of History, and that's gonna be it. That's my advice about him. Probably players will max him out after he's going to be released, and more tests we'll find out, and people will probably do some tests that he might just look good, but I really don't see him looking good in any situation. It does look very nice. 800 damage factor when he takes skill damage plus 1400, but there's so many commanders in the legendary list that does this damage plus extra, and having defense and having various other bonuses, maybe a silence, maybe other debuffs that will help you out on the battlefield a lot more than Moctezuma. Amen. Going on Trajan. Now, Trajan is a different breed, to tell you the truth, of a leadership. I'm very hyped about him, and he's also available from the Wheel of Fortune. The reason I'm very hyped about him is his primary skill. I asked the support, and I'm still waiting for an answer, because it says on his primary skill, deals direct damage to the current target up to 300, which is a nothing, a FO, just something to do some damage. And then troops led by this commander and nearby allied troops gain up to 25% skill damage for 3 seconds. That's amazing. And 15 rage per second, up to 40 rage per second. And that's as well for 3 seconds. However, incoming damage is increased by 25% for 3 seconds. Now this is what I asked the support. Is this 25% incoming damage affecting only Trajan March, or is affecting the other players who are getting the skill damage bonus? So you want to pay attention to my announcement on Discord, because the moment I get the answer, I'm going to make sure to post it on Discord. I still haven't got the answer. That's why I also delayed a little bit the video, the release of the video, and they still haven't answered me. So what can I do? I had to do the video, couldn't wait. You will find the answer on the announcement on Discord once we know exactly if this incoming damage will affect all the marches. Because if it's affect all the marches, then he's trash too. But if it only affects his march, then he will be really, really amazing for field battles. Like a must-have buff on the field battles. Let's see when we get the answer, how exactly is this working. Expanding borders. Troops led by this commander gain 20% defense. Health is increased when outside alliance territory. So you get the 20% defense permanently, and then the health bonus is conditioned. You have to be outside alliance territory. That's a huge bonus from a leadership commander. I don't think, maybe YSS has similar bonuses to marches. This is the one thing I like about versatility commanders. All the skills work on field battles. Either are conditioned that you have to be outside the alliance territory or neutral territory or whatever, but all of them work on the field battles or on a rally perspective, like Alexander. Troops led by this commander gain 10% troops capacity bonus. That's phenomenal. That's really good. When troops led by this commander consist of 3 or more different unit types. Now that's concerning. It really is. They will deal additional direct damage to the current target. When the active skill is used, damage factor is increased by up to 300 and increased damage dealt to the target for 3 seconds. Now the problem is this damage dealt is increased only to this march or everyone else hitting the target, because I believe that this is for everyone else. It says increase attack up to 20, and when serving as a secondary commander, her using active skill causes the target to take, so it specifies causes the target to take up to 20% increased damage from all sources. The normal attack have a 10% chance to increase damage taken by the target by 30% for 3 seconds. Okay, this is a very long expertise. And duration of the effect, up to 3 enemy troops in a circular area take 30% increased damage for 4 seconds. So according to the other commanders that have damage increased to the target, I would say that everyone else hitting the target will have this 20% increased damage, which is pretty huge because 1, you're buffing all your marches around you with 30% skill damage. 2, you're debuffing this target to take 20% damage increase, and this is a passive skill. You know what that means if it's a passive skill? It means that stacks with Mulan, stacks with Inamoto as well, and stacks with Alexander. So that's quite a huge amount of damage increase on one target if you have the right commanders when you're swarming a target. Honestly, this is very concerning right now. The only thing that we 100% need to find out is the incoming damage, if it's increased to all the marches that get the skill damage, or is just him. They put a dot over there, and this might just be the separate, just telling you that only your march is taking the damage, but we will need a confirmation from the support that that's 100%. If that's going to be 100%, then he is a beast of a commander, a must-have commander in the murder balls. So far, he is quite amazing. The only problem is that you need to have 3 types of troops. This is the only thing that is a little bit concerning. But then you have Ethelflaed, right? Ethelflaed needs 3 types of troops. You could do Ethelflaed and Trajan. That can be a very nice combination. This is a lot of defense bonus. While on the map, so it has a condition, normal attacks will grant troops a stack that goes up to 6% defense for 10 seconds. While the duration resetting each time a new stack is gained. Stack up to 10 times this effect can trigger at most once every 8 seconds. 80 seconds, so that's 1 minute and 20 seconds, and you have 60% defense. I mean, honestly, that's a lot of defense. You get another 20 from here and 20 health. This is quite a lot. But this is the problem. If you want to fully benefit from this commander, you need to use him with mix of troops. And that would mean Ethelflaed. If you don't want to benefit from the mix of troops and the damage increase, means you're losing 300 direct damage and you're losing also damage taken increase on the target. You can put him second to Harald, like many people were trying to say that maybe Harald and Trajan would work really great. Or you can put him second to Constantine, I'm guessing. Various combination can be made, but I think with Ethelflaed might be the best way to go with him. And then his expertise is just empowering his primary skill. He does 400 damage factor, which I think is very low, but this is the cherry on top, is the 30% increased kill damage for 3 seconds, 50 rage per second. Once we validate that it's only his march that gets the damage increase, then yeah, he's a beast of a commander. But if this damage is increased on all the marches that get the increased kill damage, then I would rather not have him. Because the increase damage, this 25%, this is all damage. So you're increasing skill damage on your marches, but people will do all damage. Not really working very well in my head. Stay tuned on Discord so you know more about his primary skill, or when we get the information about it. I'll definitely post it over there. I'll post the screenshot about what they sent me. Both commanders are second in command, so if you really want to know pairings for them, I mean, Moctezuma can work with anyone, to tell you the truth, and same is Trajan. If you want to do Guan Trajan, Guan Moctezuma with any commander, it's crossing your mind, and not in a garrison, obviously, just feel battle oriented, they just work with anyone else. Either archers, either cavs, either infantry commanders, you can make very solid pairs. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about these two new legendary commanders. Until next time, this is your boy Ron signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends.